that has now transpired and led you once again to where you are?
Yeah, I think at the beginning, like seeing my friends who played football doing really well, right? That was difficult, you know, as a young man in a group of friends, and they're making real money, and I was borrowing money at the time trying to keep up, right? Because you're seeing guys 18, 19, 20, they're buying cars, they're buying jewelry, they're buying clothes, all of the things we want to buy when we're young men. So you're seeing that happen. In order to keep up with those guys, I borrowed a ton of money. So by the time my football career ended, I was in around £100,000, maybe $140,000 of debt at 18, 19. But as I said to you backstage, you know, the beautiful thing about that was it gave me conviction to work. Right? I didn't have the luxury of pursuing this football dream for another 3, 4, 5 years. I just had to go out and work. And it was through that, you know, that combination of events, my football career ended, being in debt, needing to service that debt, that my career began. So it's a very difficult time, but without that combination of difficult events, I would never have jumped into work as early as I did and as with much energy as I did. So it was a very fortunate combination of events.
And you know what I love about it? He believes that getting in over $100,000 in debt at that point and not getting a football contract was actually one of the best things that happened to you.
Yeah.
And so I remember when we were backstage, I was saying, you know, I live by a saying, right? Quite too often, us as a collective, right? We're buying things we can't afford with money we don't have to try to, you know, impress people we don't even like, right? And so we're talking about somebody, and for y'all who've ever seen my Netflix documentary, I'm talking to an NFL player, and I find it very interesting because at the age of 18, 19, he's in the mindset of saying, oh, I'm gonna get this another contract, so let me borrow $150,000 for us. So one, for anybody in the audience that's battling, you know, being in debt, one, what's that mindset shift? And more importantly, how did you get out $150,000 in debt at 18, bro? And this isn't like student loan debt. This is debt.
Yeah, that was real debt. But the funny thing is, like you said, my football career ended, and now all of my friends who played football, their careers, you know, I'm in my mid-40s, their careers ended like 6, 7 years ago. So their earnings have stopped, and mine continues. So it's like a weird serendipitous moment that when I get around those friends now, actually the financial trajectory that I'm on is much, much better than what they're on. But getting out of that debt, I did call center jobs, I made cold calls, and then I had that major inflection point in my career where I ended up in a private equity-backed software company that was a US-based software company trying to expand outside of the US. I was like the 3rd or 4th employee in London. And over time, I took on the responsibility to build up their non-Americans business. And of course, I don't know if you guys know this, but the rest of the world is much bigger than the US. So our opportunity to grow and scale was just amazing. And over 8 or 9 years, we built that company up to be bigger outside of its home market than it was in the US. And I became the ultimate leader and a material shareholder in that company because I was leading its non-Americas expansion. And that's what changed my life financially. That was my first big exit. We sold that company for $550 million. I was an equity holder at that time.